NHL Insider Elliotte Friedman reveals what the Toronto Maple Leafs should do with their first round draft pick for this upcoming trade deadline, as well as a Leafs prospect is lighting up the juniors and could be the next big thing in Toronto. And I'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. Before we get into it, just want to say if you're one of the thousands of people watching this that aren't subscribed, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,800. Want to thank all you guys for the support and love down the comment section, down hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button on every video. Really appreciate all the support you guys are giving us here on the channel. But with that said, let's go into the first topic video today, which is Leafs open to trading their first. And as we take a look here from Elliotte Friedman on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, he talks about what the Leafs should do here with their first round draft pick. He says, I think they've waived the possibility of a first for Chris Tanev. They haven't gotten there yet. I'm pretty sure that I think they had a first on the table when it was both Zadorov and Tanev. I think they're willing to trade their first rather than one of their top prospects, and that's what I would do. That's what I would do too. But I think they prefer if their first was for more than a rental. I think they want to know what they can keep the player long term. Either they get a player who has term or someone like Tanev who they feel very comfortable that they could extend. And this is a big report coming from Elliotte Friedman, basically saying here that the Leafs don't really want to ship off their first-round draft pick for a rental, guy that they would be unsure of that they could extend through next season. And I think this is a good move by the Leafs, by Brad Treliving, if this is the case. Because I think if you're trading up your first-round draft pick, obviously you're trading up a young star here that's going to be coming from this draft. Obviously, it's going to be a later round draft pick because the Leafs do look to make a deep playoff from this year, which would push their pick back further down in the draft. But I think if you trade this first round pick off, you get somebody who you can either get in a sign or trade or get in to Toronto and be certain before you trade for them that you can extend. I think this is a great option. Or the other situation is you could trade for somebody with term, like a guy like Mario Ferraro we've talked about here on the channel. This would be a great option for their first round pick as well. But if we take a look at Chris Tanev, I know we have talked a lot about him here on the channel. This guy is a Ontario boy. This is a guy who probably wants to play for his hometown team before he hangs up the skates. So if you get this guy in for this first round pick and maybe you get a bit of his salary retained for the rest of this season, and he comes in, extends next season, plays the final years of his career here in Toronto when they're competing, looking for a Stanley Cup. I really do think this could be a great option for this team. And as we take a look at Chris Tanev's stats, obviously this is a topic we talked a lot about here. We're going to run through it again here. Obviously, 12 points, 52 games this year so far. Is one of the leading block shot leaders in the NHL this year with 159 blocks, 24 hits. And obviously when we're talking about a guy like Chris Tanev, this guy is a stay-at-home defenseman. He's a shutdown defender. He's going to be a great addition to the penalty kill unit here in Toronto if you do add him. We've talked a lot about this guy here, and I really do think that he'd be a perfect fit in this Toronto. He's a great second pairing, third pairing. I really do see him slotting in the second pair here and really, showing to be a shutdown defender. He's shown so far this season and in his career that he can shut down top six forwards in this league, whether it's by blocking shots, whether it's with, his stick. He's great at stick checking and stuff like this. He does lay the body a little bit, but he's a guy you more look at as a shot blocker. He's going to put the body on the line every night. And if you take a look at his contract here, obviously he's in the last year of his deal on a $4.5 million AAV. And I know a lot of you guys may be looking at this and saying, how are the Leafs going to make the cap situation work if they bring in Tanev? This is something we've talked about here before, but I'll break it down to you again. If you bring Chris Tanev in here, it's going to have to be on retained salary, in my opinion. I think if you can get him at 50% retained with this first-round pick, maybe sweeten the deal up with a low-tier prospect in this situation, and obviously you're going to have to trade somebody out here to make whatever it would be, like a 2.25 million or something like this in cap space. So you can make this work very easily here in Toronto. And I do think this is their number one target at this point. I think that Elliotte Friedman has spoken a lot about this on whether it's on Sportsnet, whether it's on his podcast, stuff like this, talking about the number one target right now for the Leafs is Chris Tanev. And I really do think this deal will go through. There's going to be a lot of teams active on this guy, and the only thing that will put Toronto out of the race is if a team comes in, can take on his full salary for this year. That I think that will be the only part, because in this situation for Toronto, I believe Calgary will have to retain some salary. But it will be interesting to see what happens around the Chris Tanev situation, whether they go after this guy. Maybe they take a shot at another guy like Mario Ferraro here with their first. I think this could be a great option again for this first round pick. But I do definitely think that they are shopping their first round pick around with some lower tier prospects to try to get some defensemen in here to solidify their D line going into the playoffs and going into the second half of the season. And it'll be really interesting to see what the Toronto Maple Leafs do here. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think this is a smart idea that Friedman has put forward, that they should use his first round pick for someone with term or someone that they think that they can extend? Let me know down below, because I think that is a great plan, and I think this is something that Brad Treliving is actively looking into doing. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Easton Cowan is next up. And as we take a look here, this last year with the Knights, Cowan played 68 games, scoring 20 goals and adding 33 assists for a total of 53 points. And he also put up 47 penalty minutes. But so far this season with the London Knights, Cowan has played 41 games so far, showing significant improvement in his offensive output. He now sits 11th place in OHL scoring with a total of 72 points, 26 goals, and 46 assists in 41 games. As well, his penalty minutes have also increased to 58. Notably, he has been more of a force on special teams, recording 28 power play points. And as we take a look here, comparing the two seasons, Cowan's performance this season has seen a marked improvement in his offensive production, particularly in terms of goals and points. He has become a more effective scorer, a more prolific playmaker. His increase in penalty minutes suggests a more physical style play. Overall, his development appears to be trending positively, showcasing his growth and potential as a key player for the Knights, and perhaps in the not too distant future with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another thing to note here about Easton Cowan is he's on a 23-game point streak right now, which moved him past Maple Leafs winger Mitch Marner when he played with the London Knights back when he was in the juniors. And Toronto selected Cowan, now 18 years of age, in the first round, 28th overall of last year's NHL entry draft. Someone in the organization recognized and believed in his talent and potential on the ice, and they weren't wrong. And he hit the nail right on the head with that one there. I think this guy is going to have a bright future with this Toronto Maple Leafs organization. The year-to-year improvement from this guy is unreal. I mean, putting up 70 points, I believe it was, in 41 games so far this season, with 28 of them coming on the power play, has really shown how much he's increased his goal scoring, increased his playmaking. And when you pass up a guy in Mitch Marner for a point streak while he was in the juniors, it really speaks to the volumes of a kind of player this guy is. Being even mentioned in the same realm as Mitch Marner really gets you thinking, could this guy be the next Mitch Marner for this Toronto Maple Leafs club? I think this is a really great thing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, because next year, everybody's expecting them to go into the cap crunch here. Not really much of a cap crunch in my opinion, but if Easton Cowan comes through next year, has a good cap, has a good preseason, I really do think we could see this guy slot in on the third line next year and really see how he does. I mean, we've seen it with Fraser Minton. He could come in and play, about 4 or 5 games, I believe, on that entry-level deal, and it wouldn't cut into it. So I think maybe you bring him in, test him out for the first 4 to 5 games of the season, see how he does, see if he can put some points on the board, and I really do think that this guy could really be the really bright spot for the Toronto Maple Leafs in their prospect pool over these next couple of years. I mean, with the power play points, even if he comes in next year, slots in on the second power play unit, he can really bolster up this power play unit that's already so effective. And I think it's great to see this guy kind of break out of his shell this year in the juniors and really have this great improvement. I mean, 43 assists is nothing to shake a stick at either. I mean, he's a great playmaker, he's a great passer, and like they've said here, he's increased his physical play, which is great because he's a little bit of a smaller body out there. So getting him to see him throw that body around and really get involved physically is a great aspect of his game as well. And I think this is just great for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm really excited for this young kid. Think he has a really bright future here in the NHL, and I really hope we get to see him get a shot here next year, because if he can come in and even put up half the point production that he's doing right now in the OHL, could really put an offensive spark throughout this Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. And I really hope we get to see that. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on Easton Cowan? Do you think he makes the Maple Leafs roster next year? Let me know down below. We're going to get in everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Roy. He says, cool lid, the Expos cap. He says, hope they get the A's to move back to Montreal. I don't know what you guys are thinking, that baseball comment here. And I love my baseball. I love the Expos. I mean, obviously, I was too young to really watch the Expos when they were around. But love the logo, love the color scheme. And I'm just excited. I really hope that the A's get to move to Montreal, get two teams in the MLB. And I just think that'd be great. But shout out to you, Roy, showing your support here on the channel. Really appreciate seeing your comment down there. And I want to hear from you guys. I know this isn't hockey related. I know a few of you guys are Blue Jays fans down in the comment section. What do we think of the Blue Jays this year? Do they have a good squad? Are they going to make a run at it this year? Let me know down below in the comment section. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're on the road for 3,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed already, to go down below and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the NHL, make sure to check out this video we did yesterday talking about Austin Matthews. I mean, this guy's on a tear right now, so make sure to go check that one out. But as always, I'm your host, Casey. Keep your stick on the ice.